Hi, Tony Bradshaw here with AddSomeToYourIncome.com to talk about how to make passive income. First, we will define passive income and then be talking about ways that you will be able to make passive income, and not just make it, but make it a lot. For example, J.K. Rowling. She authored a book series, Harry Potter. Those were just ideas in her head that she got down on the page. How does passive income happen? How did she make lots of money? What did she do that made us all love Harry Potter and root for him? Well, maybe we love Ron Weasley a little bit more than Harry Potter. But regardless, she did something and now has become very rich from passive income. So let's dive in. First of all, defining passive income. As someone who likes to teach, and I have my degree in economics and I teach, I like to make sure we know the understanding of each of the words that we're saying, including income. Income for me is in comes the money, as opposed to the outgo or the expenses, the opposite side of it. It's usually called expenses. Everyone's budget is made up of how much money comes in and how much money goes out. With my focus on how to increase income, I'm constantly challenging myself to make sure I'm talking about that side of what's called the balance sheet, where the money is coming in. If you've watched more of my videos, you know I like to talk about how income is categorized into 3 areas: labor income, passive income, and gift income. Labor income gets a lot of attention. Passive income, though, the fact that you've found yourself here watching this video, you're ready to get money working for you. Instead of you working for money, you want to get money working for you. Gift income, someone else worked and they give you the money. Anyway, so you're at this point where you want to increase your passive income. Let's make sure we understand passive income. Passive sounds like you do nothing, right? It just happens, kind of. Passive income is very planned out for every person. It's quite individual. J.K. Rowling, writing her books, eventually got a lot of money from the royalties of the sale of those books. You probably have something else that's you that you will share. Some other idea that's in your head that you will create. It's yours. It's valuable. It just needs to get to the market and get sold. I'm already a step ahead of myself on making sure we understand passive income by saying get it to the market. I think of passive income as getting paid at harvest. Passive income means you work all along the way. Even after harvest, you work again to get ready for the next one, for the next season, for the next year. So in a season of farming, you've got your springtime. By springtime, you've planned out what's going to be growing where in your world. You know what you're going to plant where. And springtime hits and you prepare the ground. You prepare for whatever plants you're going to be putting into that spot by adding fertilizer, adding the rows, clearing land if it needs to be cleared, preparing it for what's going to be planted. You plant, and that's not it. You're not done. There's still watering, making sure water gets there at the right amounts for what you're growing. There's still weeding, getting rid of the plants that you don't want. There's getting rid of pests that are coming in and eating the plants. And there's just this care over the plants as they grow through the long heat of summer. Harvest time arrives. It's time to harvest what has been put into the ground so that you can then take it to market and receive money back in order to plan the next year's season. Passive income means that you work a lot. In the wintertime, you have planned out what you're going to do. Spring arrives, and you begin your work. Begin bringing about the idea in your head into reality. You map it out, you sketch it out, you make prototypes, which is basically a small version or a version that doesn't actually fully work, but you can sell it to investors who might want to invest in your business. For example, J.K. Rowling, her book could have been outlined, and she could have shared that with someone who would give her some feedback. She might do a few chapters as samples. She would try those out and see how they are. It's getting it started. She has the big outline. She knows the whole story arc, and she's able to get going with chapter 1 of book 1. Then comes the heat of summer. Then comes the time when you are being tested as to whether your water is actually making it all the way to the end of the row, giving every plant the water that it needs. You're being tried with pests showing up that didn't get killed by the pesticide, and you're having to pay someone again to put in pesticide. Or the J.K. Rowling example, paying someone to get a better cover on a book, because that cover is just not selling. The book's great, but the cover doesn't show well enough what's on the inside of this book. Long after that, months later, comes the harvest. And it usually starts kind of slow. The vegetables and fruit come on, and then you're finally harvesting them. And it's a small bit at first, and then it becomes this large amount before you can take those to market and really make your money. Passive income requires a lot of work. And when you do it right, when you are writing a big saga like Harry Potter, you will be tried through the heat of summer, and you'll want to give up. That's why you've got to really lay out your plan and know what your plan is and stick to it, so that you will get to the point that you accomplish the goal of making large passive income. All that just to define passive income. Income's the money after lots and lots of work while you still keep working and plan for book after book or art piece after art piece or whatever it is that you are bringing to the world that's valuable. So let's talk about the things, the ways that you can make passive income, the things that you can do, the actual action items that are possible for you to bring in a lot of money. Passive income is a result of things that you create. That's where the real wealth is. Something that's unique that you bring into the world by inventing it and putting it together, composing it. Last night, I was over at a friend's house and we were going to play games, have a game night. I brought with me 2 games that I have created. These games have been tested with my own kids, and I just grabbed them off the shelf and thought, hey, maybe we'll play one of these games. We decided to play the bidding game. The game instructions still need work. And that was why I was there, as I just wanted to be like, here are the instructions. Let's see how you play, if you're able to play, how they need to be clarified. Here you go. And I did join in a bit, play the game. I actually have it right here with me, off to the side. So, the bidding game. The bidding game, I had first set for 5-year-old on up. But as we played it last night, it became very obvious, no, it's not 5, it's going to be 8 years old. And we're still kind of debating between, is it 30 to 45 minutes or just 30 minutes, 2 to 5 player game. This is a money game. This game, when you take your turns, you get money. Those kids at the end of the day, my friend's kids, really wanted some money. So one of them brought me a wrist thing that's home on the dresser, actually. And then another one brought me some green pieces of paper that he'd written 1s, 5s, 10s, 50s to give me to get actual money. So in this game, you get money at payday, and you then try to bid to get the most amount of turns, because you roll the die. There's a die in here. roll the die, you get a chance to move through the board. The game works pretty well, actually, just with the flow of it and how to bid. The instructions on the bidding were a little confusing. I need to clarify that. We're still playing on a paper board, so that game board, will get updated to an actual board. One of the things I love about it is I chose to have coins be your tokens. So as you're going through the game, you use coins. They don't actually have no value in the game. You just use them to move along on the board. So that was kind of a fun way of putting this game together. And there was a question at one point: does it have any value in the game? It does not. It just allows for us to have a 5-player game because I have pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and $half as the game tokens to play the game. What is this? Right now, this is making me no money. This is being tested. I'm still in springtime on this particular game. I mean, it's a piece of paper inside of a box that we actually got a book in the mail in, My handwriting, the bidding game. This, later on, can become something that brings in money passively. Where am I at now? I haven't even hit the summertime on this one. I know it because I haven't hit that moment where I hired an illustrator and it fails. And I have to go hire another illustrator and deal with the heat of the day. I know I'm still in the springtime on this because I feel like that was like the second draft, and we're barely getting to the third draft, really. But it's close. It's close to being able to get with an investor, be like, hey, I've sampled this on multiple kids, figuring out the ages and how to play, working through the details. Would you like to invest and pay for the illustrator and get a return on the investment? I'm talking a little bit too long about royalties and books and games. Let me just list other ways. Let me set that down. Other ways, obvious ways, and ones you can watch more of my videos or find information online. Is investing so that your money is put away now, such as into a 401k. That's going to be passive income later, along with any retirement that you have, Roth IRAs or just regular IRAs. Those are investment retirement accounts. All those retirement accounts, you'll think of that as passive income that will come to you later at harvest. Also, people now get into real estate, stocks, doing loans to either individuals or businesses. I just hope I inspire in people to write their story that's in their mind. Get those ideas out. It can be books, it can be games, it can be music, it can be art. Something that you can get that can be mass reproduced. This game, this bidding game, when it gets ready to go, can be printed and sold as a money game to be able to bring me passive income way down the road. I'm letting it happen naturally and making the adjustments and fixes along the way. In fact, I'll probably hang up here with you. Hang up. This is not a phone call, but after I finish this video, I'll probably go get, I took notes in my little notebook here, and get some of these into the pieces about the bidding game as we improve it to the point that it's ready to take to market. I hope you do you to bring about more income. I look forward to seeing you on the other side.